Hello everybody and welcome back to Tree of Tranquility. Continuing on where we left off last time, we had just moved into our brand new house that Hamilton gave us, and I just went over some of the features that we have in our house at the moment. So the next thing I'm going to go over very briefly is just our menu, because there are some pretty helpful things in here. You'll usually automatically be brought to your rucksack screen, and this is going to allow us to see what we have in our inventory at the moment. You can see that we just have the first tier available. All the blacked out spaces are rucksack upgrades that we do not have yet, and so we are limited to carry what we can carry in this first row, which is good to know. If we go up, we can see that this is the friendship tab, which is very, very useful. So it's going to allow us to keep track of who we are befriending. And this game also has a really fantastic feature which will allow us to track people. So if we wanted to track Anessa, for example, she will now show up on the bottom left of our screen in real time. It will show us where she is as she moves through zones. So this is a really great feature if you want to befriend somebody or you're looking to marry a specific person. You can track their location, and that makes it easier to give them gifts and things like that, which is great. If you want to stop tracking them, you just select them again and they'll no longer appear on your screen. The screen only has people that we've met so far on here, so we're going to have to fill this out as time goes on and we meet more people. It'll also have friendship levels and health for your animals, your pets, and any wild animals that we come across. And again, these will only be filled in as we find animals and we get livestock. If we go up again, we can see our status screen, which is pretty self-explanatory. We have a level 1 house. We currently haven't gone and collected any lumber or stone. We have no food and we have no animals. This is our status personally as a player. And then this is the status of our tools. So as we use our tools, the level will go up and it will make them easier to use, making us use less stamina, and you also get special sort of power-ups with each level. So it is good to have a look at the screen from time to time. And then this is our total income. So this will show you what you've gained in what categories. And then if you really want to go far back in the past as you play on in the game, this will show you the year before and the previous 2 years, whereas this is kind of an overview of the entire year thus far. So it's kind of a neat way to track exactly how much you're making in which category. And then finally we have our story items screen. Obviously we haven't had much story, we've only just moved in, but this is going to be a good way to track our progress as time goes on. So this is a very useful screen to peek at from time to time if you're lost or you just need something to look at. And with that being said, that's pretty much all I kind of want to talk about at home at the moment. We are currently at noon, and so we've lost a couple of hours. Normally we would wake up at 6 a.m. And so for the rest of the day, I'm going to spend my time exploring this area that we live in. This is the Caramel Lake District. So this is our house. Obviously we saw it when we were brought to it and we were admiring it. This is our field, which we can use to plant our crops. Obviously we were given a bag of potatoes, I do believe, which we can start out with, but we're going to have to clear it a little bit first. We're going to have to do some weeding, maybe chop down this tree when we get an axe, get rid of this rock, etc. Pretty small plot of land compared to some of the other zone choices, but still pretty respectable, especially at this early point in the game. Now we have chosen the town plot, which means that we are dangerously close to town. All we have to do is just walk down this dirt path a little bit to the south, and you can see that we zone right into Lawful Town. To give you guys a good idea of the other two choices in places that you have to live, I'm just going to show you where those are briefly. So from the town plot, we are going to go east, down this road and across the bridge. This one is obviously the furthest away from everything. This is sort of the more secluded area, and this would be the river plot. So this area has the largest amount of land. You can see here it has an absolutely gigantic field, and you are right close to the water. So, I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful place to live, if that is the plot that you wanted to choose. And you can see here that, for example, if we were wanting to try and plant something on this land far away from our house, we're not able to. We use the hoe and we're not able to till the soil. It is possible to buy this plot of land and use it for building stuff on or for crops if you want to, but we have to actually buy the land first. Until then, it's of no use to us. So that was the second choice of where you can live. The third choice, again going north from the town plot, is going to be the hillside plot. So if you just continue all the way north up this dirt path here, this would be the hillside plot. Once again, a very small piece of land. Your house would probably be somewhere around here, but it's kind of nice. You get a nice view of everything. You're right on top of the hill. And there's actually a shortcut to the mining district up this way. If we read the sign here, if it will let me read the sign, mine district this way. But there is unfortunately a giant root blocking the path, so let's go ahead and check this out. And the reason that this is important right now is just because this is going to start a bit of a side quest to get this root out of the way. That root is in your way, right? I asked the carpenter to cut it, but he keeps stalling. I think my father keeps telling Dale to wait. A lot of people object to cutting the root. This root is a part of the mother tree. The mother tree means so much to the island. But if it's in the way, we have no choice. It should be cut for the sake of people's lives. I'm sure the harvest goddess would understand. Okay, I'm going to Dale's carpentry again to remind him. I'll get this path clear one way or another. And so now that we've given Gil a bit of a reminder, there's going to be a point where that path will no longer be blocked. But we just have to be a little bit patient for now. Going south from where the hill plot is, I'm going to come to this fork in the road and I'm going to go east. And over here is another feature of this area. And this area here is called the Caramel Falls. The Caramel Falls is a great place to fish. As you can see here, there's a lot of places you can stand and cast out your rod to do a lot of really great fishing. But the main feature of this area, if you're able to awkwardly walk your way up the stone steps, is the hot spring, which we can see here. So this is an area we can use to increase our stamina once it's drained. And I think it can only be used once a day. It is a bit of a walk, unfortunately. It's a little bit out of the way, especially if you're on the other side of the map. But it restores your stamina fully, and it can be really, really useful for you to get the most out of your day. And for the time being, that's all there really is to show off in this area. It's a little bit barren, but hopefully as more people move in and we build some more stuff on our farm, it won't look as barren and it will look a little bit more like a nice, inviting sort of place to live. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press the plus button on the Wii, and this is going to bring up our map. Hamilton explained the map, but we didn't actually have a really good look at it. if you pull it up in an area, it will show you all the people who live nearby, all the buildings nearby. And then the next tab over, all, is just a general description of all of Waffle Island and all of the areas in it. So you can just go ahead and read through these quickly, a description of each area. Lawful Town is the liveliest area on Waffle Island. Waffle Square has the town hall and the big clock, and it's also where festivals and events are held. Maple Lake is a pleasant place with some houses and the church. The Mine District is where Souffle Farm, the blacksmiths, the carpentries, and the woods are. Brownie Ranch is basically a big meadow with a lot of space on it. Caramel River is sort of where we are now. This is the Caramel River District, so we've already kind of seen that. Mount Gelato, kind of a mysterious place. No one's been there in a really long time. We're not able to have access to it for quite some time. And then we also have some areas that we definitely can't access because the boat is not running and we need the boat in order to reach these areas, and these include the Gull Islands and Toucan Island. So this is a good way just to see exactly how big the map is and sort of where everything is and where you haven't explored. Obviously there's some areas on this map that we have not been to yet. So I suppose I should try and plant my stuff. Obviously we don't have a sickle at the moment, so we're gonna have to make do with pulling out weeds by hand. Our hoe, we can only go 1 square at a time. So you can see that our stamina drains really, really quickly. So little baby steps. I'm gonna make a row of 6 because 1 bag of seeds equals a square that is 1 by 6. Some games traditionally have a 3 by 3 row, but in this game, awkwardly, you do it in a row of 6. So that's very easy to mess up your first time because it's sort of unexpected. But it looks like we have just enough stamina to get that planted, which is great. It's now 10:30 at night, and I've kind of done what I wanted to do, so let's go inside, rest up, and we can start the next day over fresh. We're going to wake up with new stamina, and it's also going to be a new day. So tomorrow we're going to leave the comfort of our home and of our stomping grounds, and we're going to go to other parts of town. We're going to meet some people, and we're going to see what else Waffle Island has to offer us. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you next time.